know she's here.
You're listening to the Two Tongues Podcast. And now your hosts, Kyle and Chris.
What's up, y'all?
Welcome back, one and all, to another episode of the Two Tongues Podcast, where today we're drinking light beer.
We are drinking light beer.
And so here's the thing, this is like a skinny girl beer, carb conscious. So Kyle was saying the other day, what was it, Michelob Ultra? You said you were digging, and so I just was curious how this stacks up to that from yesterday.
I think they're very similar. We've got some limes going on here, so that gives it maybe an unfair advantage. It's a little bit more flavorful.
Oh, totally, yeah, totally.
But I mean,
could you have done a lime with the Michelob? You think?
I mean, you could, yeah. I don't see why you couldn't.
I just got a memory of who's that British tranny comedian?
Eddie Izzard.
Eddie Izzard, but I would not.
yeah. I might put a lime in it, I guess, but
you could put a lime in it, but I would not.
I love Eddie Izzard, even if he is a transvestite. I'll give him a pass.
Yeah,
he's funny enough to get a pass.
At least Eddie Izzard, I feel like, is like legitimately a transvestite. Like whatever, I don't understand it. Whatever a transvestite is.
What does that mean? Go ahead.
I just mean this whole cross-dressing, it's always historically been associated with homosexuality, but not exclusively. But this whole cross-dressing phenomenon, it was such a marginal thing in culture. If you compare somebody like Eddie Izzard to like a trans person today, in the sense of transgendered, I think it's fair to say that there's an association between these two things. But when you see, like, as an example, when I go to the grocery store and it's some freaking teenager or early 20s kid, usually a fella with very long hair and very effeminate, and you can tell something went wrong with his hormone, distribution, at some appropriate time in his life, or this guy looks a little bit too feminine, but it's a man, and it's you notice it. He's not passing.
Yeah.
It is weird.
He's a feminine looking man. Like he's
with
not
hair
anything else.
And like long nails.
Yeah.
And stuff. Wearing like female jewelry and it's stuff like that. This is the stuff that I see. It's usually at the grocery store with the young kids, and it's just like a random person here and there, but like just observing those people in the wild.
Yeah. And
comparing it to Eddie Izzard. I think Eddie Izzard is just like more genuinely like what he's doing. And it showing to the world, as they say, displaying to the world, is more genuine in Eddie Izzard's case than these weird. It's like they seem to be like nerdy kids that found this niche, this social niche of the identity and community that just fell into their lap. This whole trans thing that didn't exist 5 minutes ago, and they If that whole trans movement that's happening now hadn't happened and these people were living the way we did when we were that age, what would we say about those kids? I just think they are fake. I don't think they really believe it. Eddie Izzard is that. He
What does that mean, that he is that?
He just way more authentically
what?
She. I don't know how to say. I don't know what the word is.
I guess. I don't know, man.
But it's attached to his homosexuality. Is he homosexual? I'm not sure.
I don't know. I could have swore that he was sticking it to women, but I could be wrong.
That's why I wasn't 100% sure. But the thing
he might be bi. It wouldn't surprise me. He's like one of those people.
I think maybe what I'm sniffing around here is the idea that this modern trans thing doesn't seem to be associated with homosexuality.
I think. Well, I know that there are a lot of like trans women. It's still confusing.
Yeah, like which one is it? What are we talking about?
Men pretending to be women.
That's what I see.
Who are still attracted to women.
Yes.
It's like, and I just feel like, no, you're not allowed to do that. If you want to be a woman, you have to be a woman. It's ridiculous. But I don't know. I still don't really understand what you're talking about. I mean, I don't understand how Eddie Izzard is more authentically anything than a trans person.
I think, like I said, it has something to do with being like a core part of how he lives his life. But I was assuming that he was gay, and I'm not 100% sure that that's true now.
Yeah.
So-
I just think that Eddie Izzard is like a weird fucking guy, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that used to be.
But do you?
I think that used to be who would dress up like a woman. Is
Yeah.
like a weird fucking guy. You know, he's probably gay, but not necessarily. But he's just.
Do you think that him dressing that way is like an authentic way of expressing his weirdness? Like this is a way of him expressing something that's authentically him. Whereas a trans, the kid at the grocery store, the trans kid at the grocery store has adopted that identity as a safety net, as a floaty raft. You know, it's like, it's not, doesn't seem to be something that these people really are. It seems to be something they're hiding behind. That
maybe, I don't know. I mean, I think that they probably kind of think that they are.
Do you think Eddie Izzard is hiding behind that?
I don't know.
It's not as obvious to you that he is?
I wouldn't say that I wouldn't say that the trans people are like obviously hiding behind it. I don't know that I would say that. Maybe I would if I like sat here and thought about it.
Hold on, Kyle. Hold on. Stop there for just a second. So I have to make a distinction between the activist people you hear on TV or whatever, on podcasts, and the ones that you see in public. The ones, like I said, you see them in the wild.
Yeah.
I think they're very different.
Cashiers at Raising Cane's.
That's the one. That's the one. Yeah.
What about them?
I think
you have to make a distinction.
Yeah, I think they're very different. I think the ones that are like professionally promoting it present themselves differently than the ones that you see in the wild. The real trans folks is what I'm saying. The ones that really believe that they're trans out there, not the ones on TV, promoting it. There's a big difference there. I think the ones I see in real life seem to be shy, cowardly, sort of hiding behind this costume. That's how this is like the energy I'm sensing. This is like a hippie. I don't know these people. I don't know these people. Exactly. Let's go that route. I don't usually like the aura situation, but maybe there's some truth in it. These are the vibes that I'm picking up. I'm picking up like bashful, low confidence men, afraid of confrontation, can't even confront their own identity. They're hiding, running, or hiding psychologically. This is what they're doing. And I see them. I look at them in their eyes, and that's the energy that I get, man. And it makes me feel sad for them. The point is, I haven't met like a confident trans person in real life. These are the ones I see out there. Have you seen the confident ones in real life?
I mean, I don't see a ton of them. Thank you, Jesus. But what I do see, like I can think of one that I used to see on a fairly regular basis. They worked at a place that I went to, kind of regularly, and this person was normal, like obviously they're not normal, but like in the way that they interacted with people, they didn't seem like overly bashful or anything like that. My brother one time at this place said, I think he said thank you, sir, or yes, sir, or something like that. And the person did the thing from the GameStop video. You know what I'm talking about?
No, tell me.
There's this trans person, and it's a trans woman, and this guy is in line at GameStop, and the person working at GameStop keeps saying "sir," and he's like, "It's ma'am, it is ma'am." He's like freaking out.
It represents the whole hypocrisy of the thing, the masculine yelling about it.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, my brother did that to this person, and they did that. They were like, "It's ma'am."
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh God, man.
So I wouldn't say that that's like overly like that's confrontational.
Yeah, sure. But you know how I kind of think about those people is that they're using it as a weapon. They're using it to have power over people, and I don't know that they're authentic either. Like if you presented them with some different social tool that they could use to wield power or holier than thouness in whatever way, people love that shit, man.
Yeah, for sure.
That there's a type of person that represents a certain percentage of the population that will always do that. And right now, the way that they can do that is with the trans thing, or some race baiting thing, or exactly.
Being gay.
Do you think that? I mean, do you think that I'm onto something in terms of these just being manipulative people versus authentically trans?
I don't know. I think that there's definitely some of that. But I think that a lot of these people are honestly just like lost, confused, stupid people.
Yeah,
lost
and confused. Yeah.
I don't think that they're like deliberately being manipulative. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe I'm just trying to be like an optimist for once in my life, because normally I am pretty pessimistic about things.
This is unusual for you.
But no, I don't. I just feel like a lot of people have been misled and have been told that you can be a.
But see, that's kind of what I mean. If these people have been misled, that means they've been guided into this thing that's not inauthentic rather than it being authentic. So I guess maybe the question is, with like the Eddie Izzard comparison, is there an authenticity to this? Because the majority of people, the fact that there was 0.000001 trans people in the community until 5 minutes ago, means that some of these people aren't, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that there's a type of like a more authentic type of this, or
I think it's all fake, to be honest with you. I don't think that being trans is real at all.
I could be falling into this fallacy that because this was true in like the 70s, 80s, or whatever, like historically, that somehow that gives it validity. Because I definitely fall victim to that. Like I think the older something is, the more valuable it is. That's just like a weird bias of mine.
I mean, I think that there can be some truth to that without like, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. The reason why when you were talking about it, I was smiling is because we started talking about like giving an opinion on these light beers, and right into the trans which is funny because of that Dylan Mulvaney Bud Light thing.
What?
You don't remember that?
Remind me.
Bud Light used the trans person Dylan Mulvaney for like some kind of advertising thing, and all of Trump's base was like.
I was thinking of the comedian Mulvaney. That's why I was in my mind. What's his name?
John Mulaney.
Oh, maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Okay. Yeah, my wires were crossed big time.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Dylan
right.
Mulvaney is like a very outgoing trans person.
I'm with you.
And Bud Light used him in a campaign.
Yeah, of course. Yes, that's the whole. This is the whole. Yeah, of course.
Everyone Kid Rock was like shooting cases of Bud Light with an AK-47.
And now Modelo after that is the number one selling beer in America after that. Did you know that?
I didn't. Is that true?
I think so. At least I heard it. It's a rumor that Bud Light got replaced by Modelo after that.
Do you know why Germany has such good beers?
That's a great question. No, do you know?
Not Germany. I meant to say Mexico.
Oh, because of the German brewers.
Yeah.
Dude, speaking of beers, I went to a Asian restaurant for lunch with my family the other day.
Yeah.
And I've been buying these freaking Sapporo beers and Tsingtao beers and stuff like that just to try the Asian varieties. And I didn't realize, man, you look at the cans, and if you pay attention, they're made in California. They're not even made in Asia. And I was like,
in Asia.
I was like, that's bullshit, man. Like I feel like duped.
You feel gypped.
It's even worse with Peronis and stuff, because they do the same thing.
Yeah.
They brew them here and they put on the bottle, brewed with Italian wheat. Fuck off. This is not an Italian beer. So what? Bring me back. Where was I going?
I don't know. Where were you going?
Fake advertising.
I don't know, man.
Ah, damn it.
Did you know that there's go ahead.
Sorry, it was the actual Japanese beer I wanted to get to. So these Japanese beers at the restaurant aren't Japanese beers. They're made in California. But there was one on there that said Japan. And I was like, oh, this is a real Japanese beer. Let me have that. And she brings it. It's in a can. I'm a little disappointed because I prefer draft beer to. If I can, I'm gonna drink a draft beer.
Yeah.
So she brings me a can and pours it into a glass, and it was the best. It was the best beer I've ever had. Better than any draft beer I've ever had. was crisp. It was like a kind of like a Pilsner style, like what we're drinking, but it was like, I don't know, man. I took the first drink and I thought to myself, the Japanese do not fuck around. They pay attention to every detail. They do it with honor, Kyle.
Yep.
It's important to them.
Because if they fuck up, they have to kill themselves.
What's it called?
Seppuku?
Yes. Yeah. They don't fuck around. They are disciplined and detailed and they do everything perfectly.
Yeah.
That's why their cars are awesome and reliable. And this beer was the Honda Civics of beer. No. It was you got to go above the Honda to
Toyota Camry.
To the what is it? The Acuras? Yeah. Oh yeah, it was like the primo Acura beer.
I couldn't tell you a model of an Acura, but I know that Acura is like the high end Honda.
Yeah.
I think all their model numbers are like numbers and letters.
Yeah, I think you're right. You're right. Yeah, like Infinities too, aren't they? Like
QXA,
and BMWs too, right? They're like iX46 or something.
So my review of this beer is that it's nice and crisp, and it's not as flavorful as I would normally like of like a wheat beer or something like that.
Yeah, totally.
But it's nice and light.
Yeah.
I almost feel like I've told you before, I don't like drinking beer with food. You know, like I prefer to have like water or a pop or something like that with food. But I could totally eat this or drink this with food. It would be no problem. It is almost kind of like a pop. It's like Sprite.
Totally, man. Dude, it's super light and refreshing. You don't get any of that heaviness that you get from like a porter or a stout or like a Guinness or something.
And if you have three or four of them, you will feel drunk.
Yeah.
You'll have a buzz for sure.
It doesn't give you any kind of aftertaste, and so it's easy to drink, man. Just like any light beer. And cold, dude. This is what I like, man. Is if I'm working hard outside and I'm hot in the summer.
Yeah.
Like if I'm working in the garden or something, or doing a project. This is the beer that I want when I'm thirsty.
Very easy to drink.
This is it. When I'm hot, I'm sweating. Take the sweat off my brow, and I just fill up with one of these bad boys.
You're like doing a commercial right now.
All right.
You're like Don Draper.
Call me Modelo. Call me for the contract.
Yeah. So what are we talking about today, man?
Let's see. Let's get to it. Boy, I have some things on the list. Get out of the way, keyboard. Let's see. Okay. Let's just start with this weird one. So one of the things I like to do when we get together, Kyle, is I like to keep a list of anything that I find to have been interesting that I learned, be it from a podcast, television show, or some unauthenticated post on X. And so something that I came across was this idea that it was some kind of study that was done or some kind of government report. I think it was a government report that said the most common source of human parasites in the United States is tap water. Tap water. Yeah. So it just got me thinking, and I'm kind of paranoid because I remember.
You drink tap water?
I love tap water. Yeah. Well, I mean, we have a filter water now, and I mostly drink from that. And I got kind of paranoid about all the microplastic talk, and I was like, I'm not going to drink bottled water anymore. So anyway, mostly I drink that filtered water from the fridge.
One of the things that I was going to say is that drinking out of aluminum, you'd think though no big microplastic deal, but there's a plastic lining on the inside of aluminum cans.
Are you kidding me?
That prevents it from like tasting like metal. You can if you have like a really fine grinder, you can grind away the can and it's like clear. You can see straight through it.
Wow.
Or maybe it was like some kind of dissolvent, some kind of solvent that dissolved the can. But either way, there's a thin plastic lining in there.
So glass bottles, I should go with the
glass is the best.
Damn. I probably couldn't. No, I couldn't have got glass with that one.
Oh, I mean, I'm not really that worried about it.
What was I talking about?
Pretty sure we're
parasites
and dying.
So tap water, parasites in tap water. Okay, so first of all, I do like I just grew up just drinking tap water.
Yeah, me too.
So I drink a lot of tap water, and I drink tap water in lots of places. And I don't know how they take care of their water when I'm in Atlanta or when I'm in like the Caribbean or something, because I've been there a handful of times. And I drink the water, man. I drink the tap water when I was in Jamaica, when I was in, you know what I mean? My honeymoon.
Crazy. I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, probably should. I mean, probably maybe I should.
I mean, maybe it's not a big deal at all, but I just,
I also walk barefoot like in the yard and like in the driveway and stuff.
Down
Like
the train tracks.
yeah, sometimes I'm like playing with the kids in the, down the train tracks. Sometimes I'm playing with the kids and like the ball will roll down the street and I'm like walking in the street barefoot, like a savage. So anyway, I'm exposing myself to a lot of parasites. I never really thought about it. I just thought like in the United States was like, we didn't have parasites like in the grass. I just never thought like this isn't a place where we have to worry about these things. Yeah. I'm not going to get bot fly larvae in me. This is America.
This is fucking.
We're sterile. Exactly. We killed all of the.
We have completely tamed our environment.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Turns out that's not the case.
And drinking up these parasites.
How many must I have drank over the years? And we even took a field trip when I was a kid. Because there was a water treatment facility, a city water treatment facility that was like right around the corner from my middle school. Yeah. We took a field trip where we just walked down there, just marched single file down to the sewage treatment plant, and they show you and talk to you about how it works. Mm-hmm. And it is gross, but they bring you in and they like single file and they bring us in this big room and there's these giant tanks that are see-through. You can see the water in them and the water is filled with sludge, is filled with grossness. And he's explaining that they put these microorganisms into the water that eats all of the filth, and then they move it into another tank where they have some other process to continue to clean it. But like most of the cleaning of the human waste out of our tap water, out of our drinking water that gets recycled and all that, that's how they clean the sewage out of it. They allow microorganisms to eat all the bad stuff, all the bacteria and the grossness. And like, that's like, the majority of what cleans it. Then it goes through the whatever filters and chemical processes. I don't know exactly what goes on with the chlorine and the fluoride and all that shit. Yeah. And it was cool. It was something to see, but the truth is the water that we flush down the toilet at some point goes right back in the glass. So there's gotta be it's gotta be possible, right? That those parasites transfer from person to person through our clean water, but I just never considered it. And apparently
this just all makes me think that like without water purification and stuff like that, the level of population that we have is just like not possible.
Not possible.
Like we would be so sick, like drinking each other's shit and piss all the time.
Is it racist? Is it racist to say that the first image that pops in my head is like what these rivers in India that I've seen pictures of?
It's disgusting. It's like the most polluted rivers in the world.
They're out there bathing in the same river where they put the dead bodies and the ashes of the dead bodies and the filth. Man. Boy. Yeah. Anyway, what do you, the idea that there's we really are exposed to parasites. It's not, like from undercooked pork and from seafood and from our tap water. And I just never really considered it. And I was thinking about the story that I read years ago at this point, probably. It was talking about some association between parasite infection and cancer. As I get older, man, this is something that I'm like worried about.
Yeah.
How can I prevent cancer? Yeah. What can I be doing?
Don't eat undercooked pork.
Don't drink beer for hours with your buddy on a podcast because it's not good for you.
Here we go. Cheers. Prost.
What do you think about this parasite talk, Kyle?
I don't know, man. I worry about that kind of stuff, I guess, but I just try not to too much.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
I just try to do the best that I can without, like making my life miserable. I mean, also, if I was like wealthy, I would have no trouble drinking out of glass bottles all the time. I could find a way to make it happen.
Sure. Yeah, of course.
And maybe I could on my income level now too, but I'm also lazy. So, like I'm not going to look into it that much. I'm just like, if I can't easily buy a solution, then fuck it.
I guess it's over for me.
That interested in it. I'll take the cancer. When it comes, we'll deal with it.
Yeah, it's scary, man.
Yeah.
But I just wonder, well, first of all, before I was going to talk about like my buddy Josh and how he does like these cleanses and stuff or that kind of thing. But before I do, I have to remind you, and I have to have told you the story before, but when we were kids and you were going to Christian school, you had one of your textbooks was out on the table one day when we were living in Columbus.
You were such a fucking dork that you were reading my textbook.
Yeah, 100%. So I opened up that textbook. It's like it was like a science textbook. Maybe
Christian science.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. It was like, what's in the Christian science textbook? And there were pictures of like tapeworms and things, and it was talking about.
Yeah, I remember that.
You remember that?
Yeah.
I read that shit, and every time I took a shit for like the next 4 years, I was just like
inspecting.
No, I wasn't inspecting. I was just like kind of partly terrified. Like there was worms coming out of my butt. And also, man, you ever have a puppy that gets tapeworm?
No, I've never seen that in real life. I've seen videos.
Yeah, it is. So that's also an experience that we had once with a dog. So
that's disgusting.
It is, man. So I think that the being freaked out about parasites, the origin story of that goes back to your Christian textbook from not middle school, it was elementary school, I think. Might have been middle school.
I don't really remember a whole lot of, and I'm sure this would surprise a lot of people, but I don't really remember a whole lot of like Christian explanations for science theory from what I remember, they were just teaching us science. You know? I'm sure that pisses a lot of like non-Christian people off. You know, they want to imagine that. I think that they kind of just avoided the things that like there could be argument about.
Sure.
You know,
like evolution.
Biology is biology. You know, like learning about animals is learning about animals.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, we had Bible class.
Yeah, that's basically that's basically what you're getting in Christian school is a separate Bible class.
Yeah,
yeah,
and we had to go to chapel and stuff like that. Yeah, every Wednesday we had chapel.
We had people over, like new friends, like brand new friends that we met through the kids, you know.
Yeah,
and I have a projector, and I'll put it outside. Watch movies at night sometimes. We'll have kids will have friends over or whatever, and that's what we did with this couple.
Cool.
Damn, why am I started telling you the story for a reason. What did you just say before that?
I forget.
Golly, happens to me.
Yeah.
Shit. Parasites, tap water. It's not coming back.
Slaw, cabbage.
German. Here's one. Did you know that Fall Out Boy album, Folie à Deux?
Yes.
It's kind of like
I don't really know it that well. I never really listened to it, but
it was like one of the later ones.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like prime Fall Out Boy back in the day, which was the dopest dope you ever smoked. It was the dopest dope you ever smoked.
They were a pretty good band back in the day.
Oh man, weren't they? So Folie à Deux. Anyway, that's like one of those albums. Is actually kind of like I didn't think got enough credit. It was really solid.
Oh, yes, here I am giving it not enough credit.
Yeah. Well, at least there was a couple songs on it anyway that are memorable.
Wasn't that one song? What a catch, Donnie! What a catch!
Yeah,
something?
Yeah, totally.
That was on that album.
I think so. It sounds
like a good one.
Yeah,
that's like the only song I remember from it, though. So
man, FOB. Anyway, I didn't know what Folie à Deux meant.
Okay. Do
you?
Yeah, it's like a mental illness kind of a thing where two people are.
Yeah, dude, like you're on top of it, Kyle.
Yeah, you know, I'm a dork.
Well, I wasn't curious enough to investigate until recently. Folie à Deux means madness of two.
Yeah,
and it seems I think it has something to do with like somebody going crazy and it being contagious in a sense.
Yeah,
like you're crazy because of the other person's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
Weird, right?
Yeah, it's like that's definitely fodder for a movie storyline. You know?
How do you explain that?
I don't know, man.
Is it fake? Or are people, or there's some people that are so suggestible and like hypnotizable that they could literally like mirror you. I mean, there's like the whole mirror neuron thing and stuff. Like maybe,
yeah,
I don't know. What do you think?
They have an excess of mirror neurons.
Yeah, or like some kind of excess of firing of the neurons, and they just like monkey see, monkey do mode. And
yeah, I also think it could be like demons.
Demons, yeah,
or some kind of like who knows, man. Like maybe some kind of thing has like control of a person and it's like powerful enough that if people get like close enough to it, I say demons, but I just don't know, like who knows what kind of spiritual entities and like forces and things like that are out there.
Let's talk about this, because I struggle with this. I've struggled with this for a long time because of my what I call radical monotheism.
Yeah,
I have a hard time believing in this concept of a devil or demons, and I'm coming around to this idea of God being associated with this sort of fractal, having this fractal nature, and this is how one can become many.
mm-hmm.
And so that and there's like a whole duality thing that's a part of it. It's represented in nature. So with good comes bad. And so I start to be able to rationalize this idea of angels and demons more as this sort of fractal representation of the duality of the oneness of God, on both sides, the dark and the light, that kind of thing. So I'm starting to understand it a little bit. Where was I going with this, Kyle?
the God is fractal.
Yeah, but it was just before that.
The light in the dark.
Anyway, that's a dope idea all by itself.
It is.
So God is fractal. Understanding that. Shit.
Oh, you were saying that you have a hard time. You struggle with it because of your radical monotheism.
I struggle with what? What was I struggling with?
Like
this idea of the devil,
spirits. And,
that's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But trying to understand what a demon might be, like, what is the thing that we mean, that we came up with this word and concept of demon to represent?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do we think that if that was a real thing, what would it be? What could we point to? And I guess I think about things like, I was having this conversation with my mom the other day where I was telling her, like, when has ego ever served you well? When has it ever been good for you? And she was like, now that you bring it up, never. And I'm like, exactly. So what I mean by that is like the vulnerabilities that we have when we feel things like jealousy or envy. It's like it's some sort of a psychological thing that has a power over you that makes you act in ways that you wouldn't want to otherwise. You think about a demon as a force that pulls you into the naughty land, that pushes you into things that you otherwise wouldn't do, like cheating on your wife or murdering somebody, right? It's like, those are the kind of things we attribute to the force of a demon. So I just think about these, like, when has that ever felt like it's been a true thing that I've experienced? And that's what I'm trying to say. It's like moments where I've felt jealousy, where I've been overcome by it.
Yeah.
That, as an example, has made me violent more than anything else has ever made me violent.
Yeah.
I'm a nice guy, dude. I'm easygoing. It's very difficult to make me angry.
What if someone pinches your wife's ass?
Dunzo. I remember this one time when I was dating I was a teenager. I was like 15 years old or whatever. This is the girl I lost my virginity to. I was in the backseat of a car driving with her sister and her grandma to drop off her sister's boyfriend. And all three of us had to sit in the back seat. So grandma was driving, my girlfriend's sister's in the passenger seat. Then it's me, my girlfriend, and this dude.
Yeah.
And I don't even remember what happened, but I felt like this guy was drinking my Kool-Aid. I felt like he was whatever he was doing. I don't remember. It was a step too far. And I smacked him from she's in between me.
Yeah,
right?
like
So I smack him right in the back of the head. And he said something. I don't know what he said. And I smacked him again. Imagine me, like mild-mannered me, getting ready to be in a fist fight with my girlfriend in between us in the car in this closed-in space.
Yeah.
And so luckily we got to the place where we were dropping him off, and I got out of the car when he got out of the car because I was ready to fucking kill this guy.
Break your fucking face tonight.
Give me something to break.
Let's go,
dude.
Let's go.
And it was all because of the defensive nature of, well, the hormones that were surging through my body at the time, but protecting my punani. I think, it was like, I was willing to die. That was the hill that I was willing to die on. And I am otherwise not like that at all. Like, I was the aggressor. I was like, bitch, I was puffing out my chest and I was ready to scrap, dude. Like, that's so out of nature for me. And anyway, So this is an example of a force that felt like it was something twisting me and pushing me into this negative expression that otherwise I wouldn't wish for.
Yeah.
Does that or does that not sound like what we describe when we talk about demons in a...
Yeah, I mean, that's a very like Petersonian way of thinking about
it is.
demons.
Yeah, sure.
And I think that there's some truth to that. I do think that like there are like urges that hit people and they think it's just, oh, it's just my mind, but maybe it's more than that, maybe it's something else. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
Maybe like the hormones and chemicals and all the like science that would explain the stuff that I just talked about. Maybe that is what they call like the physical correlate of the spiritual reality. Like there might be a spiritual reality, a demon in the traditional sense.
Just because some chemicals moved around in your brain doesn't mean that there wasn't some supernatural reason for it too. Like why did the chemicals move around in your brain?
That's it. Yeah. I'm more sensitive. I'm more open to that idea than I've ever been in my life.
Yeah. I also think that there is probably more like direct kind of demonic activity or whatever, demonic. That's just like one word for whatever it could be.
Sure.
But like, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if there's like some really scary shit that happens, you know, like that wouldn't surprise me at all. I don't know. I've never seen it. I've never seen, somebody's head twist around on their neck or that. Dude, there are Catholic priests who are exorcists who will tell you that they've heard people speak languages that they don't know anything about and that they've seen people levitate and that they've seen people do all kinds of shit. And it's like, I guess we can just write them off as liars. I guess we can.
I want to talk about those things, but before I forget this, I'm getting this really vivid image in my head before I lose it. And it's this idea that every like person that's suffering from like schizophrenia or crippling anxiety or
demons,
like all of these, even the things like I was describing, all these moments of like jealousy, whatever. Just imagine, like, close your eyes and imagine like a map of all the human beings on the earth. All those little dots of light representing all the human beings on the earth. And each event, each moment of one of these things, bits of rage or jealousy or whatever, schizophrenia, all these different things, that they correspond to this invisible reality, right? They're just the effects, right? They're just the neutrinos hitting the detector. They're just the effects in the physical world of this activity of spiritual beings or a completely non-physical dimension of reality that we can't see, but the activity in it is showing up like neutrinos on the detector in all of these ways on the earth.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a way. To me, it's hitting me powerful. I guess as a powerful idea, as a way of understanding that there is a spiritual dimension to the world that corresponds to things that we know about in science, things that are invisible but are active in the world, like the quantum realm, like dark matter. Yeah. Like there's evidence of some real reality that represents that fractal, that higher level fractal reality that our religions talk about, angels and demons and heaven and hell.
So I do think that there's like a personal element to them on some level too. Like I think that the way that like that Petersonian way of talking about it, it's like, oh, it's just these like trends and forces, kind of a thing. It's not really but I do think that there is some kind of like a personal element to them.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean about the personal element. I mean, is the angels and demons realm. Yeah. That's a real realm, a real personal realm, but the effects of that realm are felt. Yeah. They trickle down, right? There's energy is not created or destroyed. It's just cycling through the system, and it reverberates. So what's happening in the spiritual world reverberates into the lower realms, which is, ours and maybe in lower beyond, I suppose. I don't know.
What we do in life
echoes through eternity. Good. My wife, man, she knows I love Gladiator, and that's the line that I usually drop on her. And she, not necessarily that line, but She always tries to, she always tries to hit me with those every now and then. Like when she thinks it's going to be a surprise, like I would never think that my wife was going to hit me with a reference from Gladiator.
Yeah.
But she butchers it every time. She doesn't get it right. Another thing she can't do, and let me ask you this, man. When we were kids, man, I don't know if you did, but I definitely did. When I was playing with my G.I. Joes or my action figures or whatever, they're always in Mortal Kombat with each other. And I would use my sound effects to represent the noise of the fighting.
Yeah, you were definitely big on the sound effects.
Oh, so just to give you guys an example of this, suppose I'm holding some toys right here and they're having a battle. There's going to be punches and kicks. So you're going to hear something like this. Right? So I do the sound effects playing with the toys. Where am I going with this story? God damn it!
I don't know. Fucking
have another one,
man.
I think you passed me another beer, Kyle.
I definitely didn't do sound effects as much as you did.
Yeah.
But I definitely did have like storylines. I wasn't just fighting.
Yeah.
Like I was telling a story with these action figures.
But even that phenomenon is really interesting in a Petersonian way.
Yeah.
Because you're playing out some kind of archetypal story when you do that, aren't you? Tell me the story that you were playing.
I mean,
give me an example.
Yeah, I mean, it was always like one specific one that I remember is I had like little tiny green army men.
Yeah, you did.
And I was like said they were like fighting a battle, and I knew that at Christmas I was getting some GI Joes, you know. So the little green army men had to hold the line until the special forces were coming. You know? But they had to hold the line until then. Until
Christmas.
Yeah.
Just hold it until Christmas, boys.
I don't remember how long that was, but
yeah,
they held the line. They got the GI Joes came. They arrived.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I'm sure that's archetypal in some way too, man. It's like, I don't know what it means, but I'm sure we could figure out a way to make it sound archetypal.
Well, I mean, you're just like, I guess it depends on how like detailed you're getting in the story, because you could have all kinds of archetypal stuff in there. You could have like, you know, the leader, the green army men are the people who are like they're not like equipped, you know, they're like under the gun of like it's like the 300 with the Spartans and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well,
if you're associating yourself with those ill-equipped people in the front lines.
No, I was a GI Joe.
Oh, you were the GI. Okay, yeah. You were the hero coming in to save the day. So I can tell you, man, that's similar to me. I remember playing whenever I got a new toy, it was always the champion quickly. It just decimated everyone and became the new champion. But my storyline was always like a master and student situation.
Yeah.
Where the student would get powerful, and then the master, after they got close, the master would turn on the student, and then the student would have to go find a way to become greater than the master, and then come back and destroy the master because the master had become the villain. And that was like it was some version of that over and over and over again when I was playing with those toys. Yeah. Yeah.
That one really did it for you.
He did it for me. Yeah.
All right. That sounds like straight out of a kung fu movie, you know.
100%. It probably was. Totally. It was definitely influenced by that. But it also sounds like the Hero with 1,000 Faces, Joseph Campbell. That stuff. It's the Luke Skywalker story. It's exactly right.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty fucking much.
Mm-hmm. Man, I wish I could remember all the shit I lost along the way here.
It's been a rough one.
Like there's like some serious stories here that I want to get to, like including the Henry Novak murder and the Belfast beheading and all this stuff that's going on right now.
Yeah.
There's some other stuff I want to get to, but I think I hired a drug addict to do work here, and I just wanted to tell the story of how I put two and two together eventually.
At your house?
Yeah. He was here helping with some outdoor work. We were pouring some.
How do you arrive at the fact that he's a drug addict?
Well, here's the thing.
The suspicion that he's a drug addict.
Here's the thing. He was like recommended by somebody else that I have done business with and I trust. So I'm like, oh, okay. Well, if he's recommending, or
this guy's not a drug addict.
He didn't exactly recommend him. He was just like, well, I know a guy kind of thing. And anyway, he came out to take a look at what I was looking to have done, and he gave me a good price, like a really good price. And I was like, oh, well, he's giving me a good price, and he was recommended by the guy that I trust. So I just, it seemed like a no-brainer to me. I was like, yeah, like
Let's go.
If I do this
Let's
myself, if I did it myself, I was going to save like only a couple $100. It wasn't worth it. I was like, I don't want to be out here all day doing this shit. I've never done it before anyway. It's probably not going to turn out well. So that was my rationale. So after he came out and gave me the bill, he was like, well, I just need half the money down to buy the materials. So I paid him. And then I didn't hear from him for like 2 or 3 days. And and I was
out there smoking that money.
And I was thinking to myself, oh man, I got fucked on this.
Bamboozled.
I got bamboozled. But then he responds to me and he's like, oh, apologies. And he's got like some kind of extreme, but like reasonable excuse.
Yeah.
I think he maybe said like somebody death in the family or something like that. All right.
Yeah.
It's like,
something makes it hard to argue with.
Yeah, something you tell your boss when you're trying to get off work when you're 20 years old. It's a death in the family. I can't come
How
to
many
work.
aunts you have that they keep dying like this?
Oh, man, I remember one of the things I was trying to get to before, but I'm afraid to go back to it. I was just going to say I had a Catholic family over and they were Catholic, and when it was time to eat, they did said a prayer. Yeah. And it was
bless us, O Father, for these are gifts.
Yeah, maybe it was. I can't remember if it was that one. But before she started the prayer, she said in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost. Before she started the prayer, and it threw me off immediately. I was like, oh, Catholic prayer. It was just kind of novel.
Yeah,
I'm not used to it. I'm not. And Protestant guys in Protestant church, nobody ever says in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost before. This is what they say: let us pray.
Yeah.
They don't say in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
Yeah.
So it threw me. That was something that I lost along the way. I thought I would just toss it in there,
get it in
to make me satisfied.
Now, do you remember where you were going before you took that detour?
Yeah, I hired an addict.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I hired an addict. Let me get there. Hold on.
Cheers.
Cheers, man. These are actually not bad, dude. With a lime, I am not mad about this.
It's not bad at all.
Okay, so I paid him half the money and didn't hear from him for 3 days. He comes back with like a weird excuse, but I'm like, fine, this guy. I'm just at this point, I'm just like, yesterday I thought he'd stolen my money, and then the next day I'm like, okay, he's responding. I don't care about the excuse. Let's get this shit done. And so anyway, he comes and he delayed. He was like, I'm gonna come this day, and then he like delayed, and it was like a couple days later, and then he calls me that day and he's like, hey, I'm down here trying to pick up the material and they won't let me pay cash. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, they're saying
your cash is no good here.
They're saying it's only check or credit. I can only pay by check or credit card. He's like, can you pay for the materials, and then I'll just deduct that from the rest of the other half of the money. So I was like, okay, fine. So, but here I am calling the place. It's not like I'm giving him money. I'm calling the place and buying the stuff. So at least I'm thinking to myself, well, this is weird. This is very weird. I don't understand what's going on, but I got to get this done, and we're not going to get it done without the materials. So I'm just going to pay for the materials. And so anyway, I do that. And then he comes and it was like some more delays in between. And then finally he comes and does it, gets everything done. And I pay him the rest of the money because the job was done. But when you do this sort of work, after the job is done, you have to come back and there's like some final things you have to do. So in a couple days, he needed to come back. Now he's already been paid all of his money. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm not 100% sure I'm ever going to see this guy again. And so I pay him the rest of the money, and he was going to come back the next day. I don't hear from him for 2 days. He was supposed to come back the next day, man. So at this point, and this is what he says to me when he finally responds to me. He says, "Oh man, I'm sorry. I slept all day. I slept because he was supposed to come in the morning. He was like, I didn't hear from him all day until the next morning. He's like, yeah. He's like, I slept all day. Okay, so now I feel like this guy thinks I know more about him than I know about him. Like he's like saying that's not a normal thing for people to do.
Fucking weird
to just admit to that. So like anyway, I thought it was so weird. And at that point, I realized that every time I gave this guy money, I didn't hear from him for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized,
dude, this guy's new sugar daddy.
Yeah. I was like, well, he gets a little cash and he goes and does whatever it is he does. I don't know what he does.
Yeah.
But whatever it is,
he does it.
Whenever he has money, he does it.
Yeah.
And then sometimes he's not, available after that.
Has the work been done yet?
It's all done. Perfect.
Oh, okay.
He came back, he finished. It's perfect. And he was a nice guy. That's the thing. He's a nice guy, but it was very.
What this guy looked like? Skinny white boy.
Kind of like you could say skinny white boy, but kind of like a guy that works hard every day. Kind of built, big old beard, like he looked kind of like the guy. Like maybe he could have been like Duck Dynasty, like one of the cousins of Duck Dynasty.
So this is probably a meth situation, would you guess? Or maybe like heroin.
His teeth looked fine, so okay. I don't know, man. And
maybe he's doing the what's the one that's killing everyone?
Fentanyl?
Yeah, maybe he's doing like heroin and fentanyl stuff. I don't
know, man.
Pills.
But what do you think? Do you think, given the evidence that I've laid out, that I hired some sort of addict?
That's what I would assume. That's where my mind goes to. I don't know what else opinion to draw from that. Maybe he's addicted to titties. He's going to the titty bar. You know?
Yeah. I have no way of. I mean, it could be drugs, but maybe not. Maybe it's gambling. Maybe it's titties. You know.
I've actually been feeling kind of an urge to go to a strip club recently because I used to like to go to the strip club, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think it's probably.
Man, I mean, I've gone to the strip club. I've gone alone. I've gone with people before.
Alone.
Oh yeah, dude. Go have a few beers.
Yeah. So I've only been a couple times, man. I went with my ex-wife when I was married before, and I went with a buddy I worked with after I moved up here, who was like 20 years older than me.
Yeah.
And we were going to see what was that musical that the South Park guys, the Book of Mormon.
Gotcha.
Because he got free tickets to the Book of Mormon, and I was like, yeah, I'll go. So he was like, all right, meet me up here, and we immediately took me to the titty bar, and we hung out there for a little while. And it was so weird, man, because we weren't like sitting at the stage. We were sitting at the bar.
Yeah,
the bar is facing away from the girls, so we're just like sitting there drinking beer, like there isn't titties just behind us. And everywhere you look, we're just sitting there like, we're just in a regular bar, and there aren't distractions all around.
Just paying $12.50 per beer for no reason.
It almost seemed like a flex.
Yeah.
Like I'm just not even gonna look.
About these titties,
I'm not even gonna look. I'm pretending to have a beer while I have a beer. Like, this is silly. I'm not even gonna look at these titties. I'm just gonna pay.
I mean, to be fair, the titties do come to you. You know, they are desperate for attention. Those titties.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what's nice about the strip club, you know. Having titties desperate for attention. What's wrong with that?
That's America. For her attention. You remember Copeland?
I do. I remember Copeland. I don't remember that song off the top of my head.
Guys, if you want some
sappiest emo,
if you want some real emo music, if you want to know what that shit really means, not the fucking shit, pop stuff that like the My Chemical Romance, not that like third generation emo. If you want the real deal, go back and listen to Copeland. What is it? Under Court? What was it? No. Paula Sparks. That was one of the songs. Go back and find that shit and listen to that. Another one, if you want some real first gen emo, is a band called The Lindsay Diaries. Go and check that out. The lyrics that I remember are, the song starts, it says, I can't do it. I'm a terrible singer. I would have to sing it. The tops of trees are on fire. That's how it begins.
Right.
And it's the sappiest. Anyway, that's first gen emo. Go take a listen.
I wonder if that is first gen emo.
It depends.
If that's the first generation of emo that you listen
that I was exposed to. Yeah. But I kind of thought it was.
There were probably like emo historians who were like, God's not fucking first generation emo.
Totally.
When I think of first generation emo, I think of bands like I don't even know if this is a first generation emo band, but I think of like Sunny Day Real Estate.
But would they consider that emo, do you think?
Oh yeah.
Okay. See, so I'm not really talking about Cursive. The birth of a subgenre then I think within that.
You're talking about whiny emo.
I guess I'm talking about early 2000s sappy emo that I didn't realize until you brought up Sunny Day Real Estate as an example of first gen emo. Wasn't first gen emo because I never really listened to Sunny Day Real Estate, but I do, like, at this point I know that really is the first generation of emo. The sound is not really what I associate with emo.
You ever listen to the band Cursive?
A little, yeah.
Yeah.
Are they? How far back does Cursive go?
Pretty far back. They're an early an early emo band.
Interesting.
They have a one album that I like a lot called Art is Hard. It's a good old fashioned emo album. You ever listen to a band called American Football?
I don't think so.
No.
I should?
Maybe.
Oh, well, thanks for bringing it up.
Yeah.
Maybe
you like it. I don't know.
Yeah. Did I tell you that Matt and I have Spotify playlists that we built for each other?
No, I didn't know that.
I don't know if he's still adding music to it, but every now and then I'll just add songs to it. So he's just listening to my mix and I'm listening to his mix.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have
he's very heavy on Day to Remember.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I'm like, come on, Matt, let's Day to Remember, buddy.
I gave up on A Day to Remember. I mean, not like I gave up, like they were so terrible that I couldn't listen to them anymore. Yeah. But I just like, it wasn't moving me as much as it once was. You know, my musical tastes have changed a lot. There's still some like pop punk, emo, you know, that kind of stuff that I listen to, but
there's some
listen to a lot of other stuff.
Yeah,
now too.
There's some really good, there's been a really good resurgence of that music nowadays.
Yeah.
A lot of good bands. Like
I don't really listen to any of the new ones.
There's a bunch of them that remind me of that screamo emo stuff from the early 2000s. Like in my opinion, one of the best screamo albums ever made is Taking Back Sunday's "Tell All Your Friends."
Yeah, it's a good one.
I start from start to finish, a masterpiece. Where am I going with this? So some comparable bands today comparable to that sound. If they would have been out then, they would have been on par or better. Are bands like Moose Blood.
Moose Blood, that's a cool name.
Yeah. Bands like Tiny Moving Parts.
I know, I've heard of them. I guarantee you I've heard some of the songs because both of my brothers like them a lot.
Yeah.
I don't really listen to them.
Oh boy, there's a bunch. There's more that I should remember off the top of my head that I don't.
Yeah.
But there's a really like good resurgence of this music that seems a lot like the screamo that was from my heyday.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Nice.
I like that it's happening.
Yeah, I'll have to check out Tiny Moving Parts on the drive home. Maybe I'll give them a shot.
Yeah, I think if that's the right band, the album is, I think it's called Swell, and it's got like it's got like a rock hand cartoon image on the
listening to some Chiodos recently.
Oh yeah,
going back into the vault,
nice.
Listening to some Chiodos. I found out that this lady that I work with, she's actually my like direct supervisor. She was in my office and she said she like recognized my Chiodos tattoo.
Really?
I was like, oh, whoa. And I found out that she's also like from down closer to where we grew up too. So it's just weird the stuff you learn about people, you know?
Yeah. You gonna have sex with her, Kyle?
No, she's pregnant with someone else's baby right now. So that wouldn't be a nice thing for me to do.
No, probably not. You want to hear something interesting that I learned? I might be reading into it, but I was watching this documentary about the plague, about the Black Plague.
Yeah, they said the Jews did it.
No. They were talking about the difference between the bubonic plague and the
schmushmonic plague.
The bubonic plague and the there's another word, another version. One of them is transmitted through like coughing, and one of them isn't. Like you can, like one of them is like you can put in the air, and one of them you can't. Anyway, the one that we call the Black Plague, the bubonic plague, is the one that caused those big boils that turn black on your skin, right? That's why they call it the Black Plague. I didn't realize that they had a name for those boils, those blisters.
What do they call them?
They called them buboes.
I think I've heard of that before.
Right. So bubonic is because of the buboes.
Bubos.
And then it occurs to me that to this day, we call injuries boo-boos.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's related, but I feel like I bet it is. Gotta be.
Yeah, I bet you it is.
Buboes, an injury on the skin is a boo-boo to this day.
Why else would it be?
You got one of them boo-boos.
Yeah.
If it turns black, you're in trouble, bro.
Bro.
So anyway, I don't know, man. You think I'm reading into that?
No, I think that's probably spot on. You could ask your fucking AI thing, dude.
Perplexity. Let's do it. Let's see. Is there an association?
That seems like a Justin Nunnally fact. I'm sure you don't know who that is, but he's this guy. I like him a lot. he makes these videos. He'll play like some random video. I'm sorry, you're typing. I'm really distracting you. I hate when people are talking to me while I'm trying to write something. Makes for a boring podcast, though, you know.
All right, let's see what Perplexity says. This isn't actually Perplexity. I just said it because that's what Joe Rogan says nowadays. It says no.
Is this Copilot?
Yeah.
Just keep calling it Perplexity.
Yeah, exactly. No, it says, you're dumb. You shouldn't have asked such a dumb question. It says bubo, the plague, swelling, and boo-boo, a childlike word for a minor injury, are etymologically unrelated. How do you know that? How do you fucking know that?
The similarity is coincidental.
Bubo comes from Greek and Latin. A swollen lymph node, a characteristic of the bubonic plague, comes from the medieval Latin bubo, the Greek bubon. You see how I fucking read that? I read that in the Greek just now, dude. Hell yeah. Meaning groin swelling.
Hey, I've got a bubo.
The English word boo-boo, meaning a small injury, is a 20th century nursery term formed by reduplication like pee-pee, night-night, choo-choo.
What?
Like pee-pee, night-night, and choo-choo.
But why does boo? Like
exactly, exactly. No phonological link? Are you sure? Because it sounds similar to us.
I don't trust Perplexity at all. Perplexity's full of shit.
There's no historical evidence that English speakers reinterpreted bubo into boo-boo. I think you're fucking wrong.
Wrong.
If you want, I can dig deeper. Why don't you throw me a bone, Perplexity? For Christ's sake.
Goddamn Perplexity.
All right. So that's that. Let me see if there's any other easy ones here.
Bubos. The bubos.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's where boobs comes from too.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's related.
All right. How about we
ask Perplexity?
Ask her what? Let's ask her. Say it again.
His boobs.
Oh, his boobs. How I'm just gonna say, how about the word
yeah, there you go.
Boobs. Oh, this is a fun show tonight. Light beer.
Boobs meaning breasts. That's so funny. Is not derived from.
Hold on, wait, gotta read the top here.
I can't. It's too small.
Yeah, boobs meaning breasts is not derived from bubos, the plague swellings. The similarity in sound is coincidental, but the history is actually more interesting than most people expect. The evidence shows boobs is a 20th century slang term meaning breasts. It appears in 1929 slang. I didn't know that. That's pretty interesting.
I would have guessed older than that.
I would have guessed older, yeah. It is believed to come, because they said bosoms, right?
Yeah, maybe it came out of that. I don't know.
It's believed to come from the much older word boobies. Late 17th century and bubby from the 1680s, both meaning a woman's breasts. Can we bring back bubby, do you think?
Bubby. I'll bring back bubby. I mean, it's weird to me that
do you say bubbies or do you say bubby? Like,
that's a good question.
Look at the bubby on that lady.
Look at the left bubby and the right bubby.
Yeah. Is it bubby or bubbies?
I don't know.
And then
it's interesting to me that boobies was around before boobs.
It is. Yeah.
I don't know. It seems like boobies would have come after.
It seems very wrong. Not intuitive.
Boobies is what's the word when something comes at like diminutive? I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. I've had a bunch of beers.
The older forms may ultimately trace back to the Latin pupa, meaning little girl, used in childlike talk for breasts. What? Child talk?
All right, well, I'm calling them tits from now on. That's fucking weird.
Or it may be natural baby talk formation similar to the French pope, treat, or a German dialect booby. You're all over the place, Perplexity.
Perplexity's just talking out its ass.
Bubo, boobs, boobies. Yeah, this is okay. Well, I think we're done with this topic.
I'm never done with this topic.
All right, so I've got one other one that we can jump into before more serious stuff happens. Here it is. Okay. So, here we go. This is it. So I thought it might be fun. I thought it might be fun because, like, hearing people telling embarrassing stories is like informative. It's like people like stories, you know.
Don't do this.
Yeah, don't do this. They're don't do this stories exactly. So I want to tell one of those stories, and then I'll ask you to tell some if you have any. So I think it's better. There's two kinds of people, right? There's people who learn from other people's mistakes. These are the wise, and people that have to learn it themselves, which we all at one point have to do that. So I'm going to share a story. It's not super embarrassing, but I just thought it was worth sharing. So I got like a tiny backyard. Like mostly I have like a front yard that's pretty decent, but the backyard is small. But like, it's kind of cozy back there. And that's where we like, when we watch the movies in the summer on the projector, we do it out there. There's really not a lot to it, but I wanted to like make it look nice back there. So I put these, one of the things I did is I bought these solar lights that fit on the top of the 4x4s. And they look like little Japanese, like little the tops of little Japanese temples. And they're so exactly like solar lights. And they bolt onto all the tops of the 4x4s. And then at night, when the sun goes down, it's like this nice, like, L-shaped light that kind of leads you back from the yard to the house. It's nice. I like it. They were expensive though. The ones I bought, they were not cheap at all. I had to buy a lot of them because I got a lot of posts, So I think that like a pack of them was like almost like $100.
How many packs did you need?
I think I needed like 1.5 packs.
Oh, that's not that bad.
But
it's still a lot.
Yeah, but for lights on the anyway, after a couple of summers, some of them got damaged. Some of the solar panels themselves get like I don't know, they get that foggy stuff under the plastic, and they don't absorb the light as well. And so I was like, all right, I'm just gonna bite the bullet, and I'm gonna buy another box of these damn things, right? It's like another $100 later, and then I'm like marking the ones that won't work, and I'm replacing the things. So for the first one I open up, it's got a little plastic tag under the battery. You got to pull that plastic tag out for the light to work. And I didn't put two and two together. And I'm going and I'm changing the tops off, and I'm putting the new tops off, and I'm thinking to myself, I just needed to change the batteries. I just needed to change the batteries. I didn't need to buy
$100.
So that's it was a recent embarrassment, and I thought I would tell that story. I will. I think I might have said it before, but I'll tell another one because it's when I was asking myself, like, what other embarrassing stories do you have? The first one that came to my mind was when I was in the process of getting divorced, and I was trying to get back out there for the first time. And just to let people know, so this isn't like less embarrassing in the retelling, that the first time I got married, I married at a young age to a girl that I had been dating since I was a teenager. So the point is, I hadn't like dated, right? I didn't have any experience dating because I had been with the one girl all that time. And here I am, like much older. And suddenly I'm like trying to date people again for the first time. And it's like, I didn't even have the practice that people got through high school and into college and all the dating they were doing. I didn't do any of it. Yeah. So I was like,
you got into one pretty quick. There was not really a lot of trial and error,
Well, when you're this handsome, Kyle, where was I going with this story, Kyle?
You weren't dating. Yeah, then you were dating.
Where's I going with this fucking story?
Then you were dating. Now you're married.
I was just saying that I was this is the embarrassing story. Sorry. Oh. So I was trying to like buffer this story by saying I was out of practice, and I didn't have the experience that I should have had at that point. I was like in my mid-20s at the time. And it's like I'm trying to date again for the first time since I was fucking 15 years old, right? Yeah. I'm just saying this is so. Anyway, I went to a bar with remember Aaron. I don't know if you were there or not. I went to the bar with Aaron, my buddy Aaron from way back in the day.
Had a crush on you.
Yeah, I think maybe. At least that's what people keep saying. Anyway, bar, and there was people dancing.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Was I here? Was I there?
I think you were. I think you. Yeah. I think I was suspicious that you might have been. And I was like, "Fuck it." So I'm like drumming up the courage to like go over here and like try to like talk to these girls, but they're dancing with each other. It's like a whole what do you call gaggle of bitches? What do you call a group of women dancing in a bar? It's like a murder of crows type of a thing.
It's a caboose of cunts. Is what they call it.
There's a cabal of madames
Cabal of madame.
dancing, and I'm like, like just drunk enough to like drum up the courage to try to walk over there. But they're dancing, right? So what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? You gotta dance, you gotta dance. So I'm like just by myself. I'm like a lion praying. Like I'm trying to get a little closer without them noticing me, right? So I'm just dancing over to these girls, and as soon as they notice that I'm headed towards them, they just look at me with the most disdain I've ever seen in any woman's eyes, and they just leave. They just leave. And that was one of the moments, man, where I felt the most embarrassed that I can recall in a while.
Yeah.
You got any good ones?
Honestly, not off the top of my head. I know that I've had embarrassing things happen to me, but like nothing's really jumping out at me.
You're a lying slut.
I'm not, man. Like the biggest things that I can think of are like, so at work, I have subordinates, and what my job is to like direct my subordinates on what jobs need to be being pulled. Like I'm in control of making sure things are getting pulled on time to get shipped out, things like that. Sometimes I pull jobs myself too, but mostly I'm just kind of directing them, like putting out fires, figuring out why things aren't there.
Yep.
Sometimes like one of my people will be like, I can't find this thing. And at that point they come to me, and most of the time I can find it. Sometimes I can't though. And then I'll go to like a person who knows where a lot of shit is. And I'll be like, where, I don't think we have this. And I'm trying to figure out, do we need to order this? Like what is going on? So I go to him and he's like, it's right here. And it's like, it's fucking, and it's like,
it's right in front of your face
place too. Yeah. So that shit's embarrassing, but that's not like that bad.
Yeah. Well, how about like this? Anybody ever catch you jerking off? How about that?
It's been a long time.
Yeah, but it happened.
Oh yeah, when I was younger, yeah. People walk into the room, you're fucking wailing away at yourself. Yeah.
Oh man, boy.
I was actually just talking to this kid that I work with today, this was like maybe Friday, I don't know. But I was talking to him about the fact that I live with my brother. My brother's not there most of the time. He spends most of his time at my dad's house, but he does live there. And I said, it's, I like, it's nice that he's not there because I have the house to myself. And like, I don't know if you've ever had this realization, but I've had the realization that when you're in your room or you think you're in private and you're like talking or whatever, people can hear you. The people in the house can still hear you. You know what I mean? Having that realization is, that's like terrifying. You're like,
oh, like, what do you know? What do you know?
I saw a funny, I can't remember what, I'm sure it was just like a person looking shocked, but it was like deaf people when they realize farts make noises.
Oh,
that's a good one.
That is a good it's like, oh, what did I do?
Oh my God.
Can you imagine?
That is so fucking funny, man. Memes are great. Like how do people like encapsulate funny so well in like such a short little, it's weird, man.
It is weird.
People are talented.
I've never created one, so I don't know how the magic's made.
I've tried to make some memes, but they're never very good.
All right, I got another topic.
What are we talking about?
Well, there's like two things that I thought were related. It's kind of like I'll just put it out there, then I'll tell you what brought this to my mind. There's this idea of like, how people. Where do I start here? I was watching the Trigonometry podcast, and they had some lady on there. Her name was Kelsey Sharon, and
that's a fake name.
she was talking about the MAID program in Canada. The what is it called? What does MAID stand for?
Medical
assistance in
adaptation.
Death. Medical assistance in death. Shut up. Medical assistance in death. This is the Kevorkian program over there. You know what I mean? Where they kill people. So she was just talking about it, like how completely salacious it is, and
salacious.
Oh, dude. Well, it's like it started like how you would expect, to try to make this sort of a thing palatable. What people would say, they would say something like, if you are, like
suffering,
and you have a terminal illness, that you should have the option of ending your life and ending your suffering voluntarily. Something for old people or those people in those situations. And then like this slope starts getting slippery, and then you start saying,
"Oh, you're a little sad."
Oh,
that's it, man.
That's it in a nutshell, man. Because the next thing you know, they're like, well, it's like, you're just old. There's nothing wrong with you, or you're just depressed.
Like, it's only a matter of time. Like you're 69. Like how much longer could you possibly have? It does. I mean, I'm joking, but it actually does kind of become like that kind of utilitarian thing with some people. It's like you're 69. What do you got? Like 5 more? You really want to sit here and eat up resources for 5 more years?
That's the thing, man. When you live in a country where the state has to pay for medical care, it's like at some point you're a liability, and that's how they start looking at it. They got no empathy whatsoever.
I think that it reminds me of like, I think of like Game of Thrones, and I think that this is taken from real life to some extent. Like the old people, like when the winter was coming, the old people would be like, I'm just going to go out into the woods, like I'm not going to live anyway. I don't need to be here eating the food. All these kids, feed them. I'll just go die. I think that makes sense a little bit.
It's noble as shit.
Yeah, but I think that it's good that we evolved out of that, and that we don't have to do that anymore. And like this idea that we're moving back to that sort of thing, it doesn't seem like progress to me. It seems like it maybe has the mask of progress because it's like, like medical science, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, no, it's about the feels. It's about compassion, and that's how they sell it. Man.
I mean, I think that there's a lot wrong with the healthcare industry. I'm not saying that it's perfect, but I don't think that we should be helping people kill themselves.
Well, the reason
that's pretty dark.
The reason it caught my attention, a couple of things I wrote down. Let's see. First of all, did you know 1 in 20 deaths in Canada last year were through the MAID program?
That's crazy. 1 in 20?
1 in 20
That's
deaths
crazy.
in the entire country. Here's another interesting fact.
I would love to comb through those and see like the reasons for them.
Well, here's an interesting fact you might like to know. Canada will not use opiates to kill people in the MAID program, even though you might think that's a compassionate way to die. Imagine having like a heroin death.
Yeah,
you would just be at ecstasy.
Nothing.
No, they won't do that because it damages the organs.
Oh.
And guess what else, Kyle?
So you're cattle.
Guess what else, Kyle? Organ transplants have spiked since the MAID program happened.
I bet they fucking have.
And now they are killing people who are perfectly healthy just because they want to die. Depressed people, people that have non-mortal conditions.
Canada's so fucked, man.
Because hey, they're paying for their health care in the most expensive time of their lives for these old people anyway. And they need some organs, baby. These other people need organs. And guess what? You got to pay the government for the program, right?
Yeah.
You're going to pay them to kill you. So they're going to make money on the whole thing anyway. And it's like, I don't know what it is. It's like $500 or something, but they're going to make.
How is that any worse than like what people say about China? Like people say that, China has a black market for like organs and stuff like that. Canada doesn't even have a black market. They have a completely white market.
Absolutely.
That's fucking crazy.
Nuts. And this is all being done in the name of compassion.
Yeah.
And this is where compassion gets you. And I want to remind the audience, because I know that the biggest selling point of the idea of communism is compassion.
Yeah.
Bunch
of suckers.
So I was listening to this episode of Trigonometry and hearing all this shit about the MAID program, and they're killing all these people. And I immediately connected it in my mind to like this idea, this topic of abortion, which has never been of particular interest to me because I'm a man and it doesn't concern me. It's like somebody else's business, and I never really thought about it. But as I get older and more political, it's just constantly a topic people are talking about. It's neither here nor there, but the fact is there's a lot of deaths as a result of abortion. A lot. I mean, far more than the MAID program. But the fact that we're not just killing unborn children. Now we're killing fully formed adults because they're having a bad day.
I wonder what the youngest person who's been killed by the MAID program
Let's find
is.
out. Perplexity. Where's the person
Perplexity.
killed in?
Co-pilot Perplexity.
All right, let's see if it even says, because we might have some PC fucking AI
Yeah.
over here telling me this isn't an appropriate question to ask. Based on current available, it's 26 years old.
Holy shit.
Euthanized. Let's see what it says about him. In December of 2025, he was 26 years old. He was not terminally ill. He had diabetes.
Vision loss and depression.
He had previously been denied the MAID program, and he just reapplied and crossed his fingers, and they were like, you know what?
Yeah.
Get over here.
I can't fucking see. So.
Oh my God, he did have vision loss.
So,
It's a quality of life thing. Will you get me another beer?
Yeah, absolutely.
You're gonna need another one yourself because we got more time to talk.
I saw speaking of funny memes like we were earlier. I work in a metal shop, basically,
Yeah.
And so I see a lot of like blue collar shit on Instagram memes.
Yeah.
And one of them is this guy, and he's about to run a saw, and somebody says, "Put your safety glasses on." And he's like, makes a face like "fuck you." And then the person, you can't see them. It's just like captions on the screen. It says, "Yeah, well, you can't hear titties." And the guy's like, he puts the safety glasses on.
You can't hear titties. I love it. All right, now back
There's
to
a lot of titty talk in this episode.
Yeah, you're right. That's what beers will get out of you.
True.
Anyway, so this idea of connecting the MAID and the abortion stuff, these two topics, to circle back to it, I couldn't help but think about, people use the word death cult, when they talk about how like enthusiastic the pro-abortion people are, and how much money and resources and political support in the country have been behind abortions,
Mm-hmm.
So they call it a death cult. And I just wonder, I wonder what it means that you have this parallel between like human sacrifices and things that were done in like ancient times for religious purposes,
Mm-hmm.
and the kind of activities that we're talking about still engaging in. Like we talk about it differently, we rationalize it differently, but we are killing human beings. I'm not so sure for what. When a woman gets an abortion, you might make the argument that like there's a economic benefit, right?
Yeah, it's a convenience thing.
It's a convenience thing, sure. But there's an economic benefit because you're allowing this woman to become educated. You're allowing her to make choices about her career that would otherwise be interrupted by having this baby and that kind of thing. But isn't that what they were doing when they were killing people to make it rain? They wanted economic prosperity, so they were killing people.
Yeah.
And we're making the same argument when it comes to abortion. Like, we're killing people because we want to be wealthy, right? Because that's what we're saying. It's like this poor girl, if she has the baby, will be saddled with responsibility and debt and will never fulfill her potential. She'll never make any money. She'll be poor and a drain on society, and her quality of life will be poor. If we just kill the baby, things will be better.
Yeah.
And like, how different is that from Aztec shamans ripping the hearts out of conquered tribesmen and throwing their bodies down the steps of the pyramids?
Pretty similar. I mean,
it's strange, right? Like, to what degree are we still doing what we were doing then?
Maybe to an even greater degree, than we were back then. I would say, probably, right?
Yeah.
Like, think about how many abortions, and not even like old-fashioned, forceps and vacuum cleaner abortions, but like medical abortions that they do now. It's through the fucking roof. It's off the charts.
I'm going to ask Perplexity, how many abortions, I said are conducted, but were conducted in the U.S. last year? Let's see what it says. And this says 2023.
Maybe that's the most recent.
Just a little over 1 million. And last year it was 1.14 million. medical abortions were another million, or is it, what is that saying?
Medication abortions, like that's like pill abortion.
Plan B.
So
Okay.
we're talking like 2 million a year.
How about worldwide? Let's see. Last year, 73 million globally.
It's crazy.
Okay, so people talk about the brutality of masculine energy and the violence involved with that, and how many war and how many people men kill.
Yeah.
But I've seen the memes. Obviously, this isn't a novel idea, but 73 million women a year kill. I mean, maybe there's some overlap. Maybe it's not quite 73 million, but
close. It can't be that
close
far off.
to 73 million women every year choose to kill their unborn child.
That's a lot more.
3 million.
That's extremely violent.
Let's see how many people are killed worldwide by men through acts of violence.
Violencia.
So 73 million compared to 400,000 people murdered worldwide.
It's like the old question: if you were walking through the woods and you had to encounter a man or a bear, which would you choose? Well, I think that if you're a baby, you should probably pick the bear. You might want to pick the bear,
dude. The difference in these numbers is absolutely staggering.
That's fucking crazy.
Roughly 400,000 people are murdered by men through acts of violence globally every year, and 73 unborn innocent children are killed by women for various reasons every year. That is staggering. And it reminds me of this very difficult idea, this conceptual idea that was difficult for me to understand. It's also Petersonian, but it was introduced to me through Jordan Peterson, is this idea of the great mother, this idea of this archetypal goddess figure that represents chaos, that represents the force of chaos.
Yeah.
And like when you see these goddesses like Kali in India, with fangs and blood dripping down her mouth, and she's standing on a male corpse kind of thing. Like there's this violent, terrifying part of that female archetype, of that great female archetype, where it's not just the beneficent, like great Mother Earth, fertility goddess. Yeah. The other side of that coin is this
the succubus,
the terrifying, vengeful, just destructive chaos. And 73 million abortions worldwide every year after year after year represents, what better representation of that?
You've convinced me. We need to deport women.
Deport
all the women.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that song? There's like a meme going around now on Twitter. I've seen it, of this young British girl like singing this song, and that's the chorus. Deport.
Wow.
Yeah, they're fucking fired up over there, man.
Yeah.
Might as well talk about that.
Yeah, let's go in.
Well, you start, man.
I don't really actually know that. I know that some guy got killed, and that people are freaking out about it. So you might want to take more of the details.
Yeah. Well, the tensions, like the racial tensions, it's no surprise. The racial tensions in the West, so not just in the UK, but
it's particularly bad there.
Yeah, but here too, this is something that's been growing under the surface, I think, since Obama was elected or shortly afterwards, and things are getting really bad. So again, I'm not an expert. I just see the headlines and the stories online on TV and stuff like that. But within a very short period of time, you had 2 incidents happen in the UK. The first one was, I guess, a Polish kid named Henry Nowak, but spelled like Nowak. And he, so I don't know if you know this, but in the UK, the Sikhs have special permission to carry knives, right?
Like a cultural thing.
Yeah, there's a particular type of a ceremonial dagger that they're supposed to, part of their religion. Anyway, they're allowed to wear it.
No one else is allowed to carry.
No one else is allowed to carry anything like that. Now, of course, guns are outlawed, so all of the like deaths and the attempted murders that happen there are knife attacks. Happens all the time.
Yeah.
These guys are allowed to just carry them around. And so this young kid, I don't know if you've seen him. He's just like a young kid, man. He's just like a 20-something-year-old dude. He was walking around in, I don't know if this story took place in London, but let's just say for the purposes of this conversation and not having to look it up, it happened in London.
Yep. Might as well have.
So he had some kind of altercation with this guy, the Sikh guy carrying a dagger.
And it ceased to be ceremonial.
He stabbed him several times. When the police showed up, the Sikh fella told the police that that Nowak had attacked him in a racially motivated attack. Said something racist to him or whatever. So the police immediately believed everything that the Sikh guy said.
Of course, why not?
Handcuffed the guy that was laying prostrate on the ground, bleeding to death.
Brown skin means he's telling the truth.
Yeah. The kid tells the police that he was stabbed, and on the video, when you listen to it, the cop says, "I don't think you have, mate." And he says several times to the cops, "I've been stabbed. I can't breathe." And he died in police custody in handcuffs while they were doing their investigation. Died. And the parallels to the George Floyd thing were not lost on anybody. Everybody was talking about it. And the craziest shit about it was up to I think 2 or 3 days after the event, the government was they were deliberating on, their preference was to tell the story as though a racist white kid got what he deserved. Yeah. And that this is an opportunity for us to come together to be less racist and be one big community. This is how they wanted to spin the situation.
How's it working out for them?
Well, the video came out and everyone saw it. And, now it's like, Piers Morgan's got people on talking about, two-tiered policing in the UK. And,
it ain't just in the UK.
Every fucking politician out there, Keir Starmer included, were going on and they were trying to shame the public because they knew that all this tension was building. They go on there and they try to shame the angry people, the angry white people.
Yeah.
And they say,
"How dare you be angry white people?"
No, they say, Henry Novak's parents said they didn't want this to become a political thing. And how dare you guys try to make it political?
Yeah.
And how dare you be angry when the parents told you not to? And, and then within a couple of fucking days, this happens again in Ireland, where some African migrant stabbed some fucking kid so many times. He was literally stabbing him in the face and neck. He was straddling him on the street, and people were filming him like a horror movie. This guy was trying to decapitate. He was trying to separate his head from his body. And now both of these things have happened when the tension is already at tipping point, and the reaction of the government is to continue to do what has caused the pressure to build all this time, to shame people for being racist instead of admitting to the reality that there is a fucking problem and they're the ones that caused it and have to fix it. And they're just trying to slipperily slide out of responsibility.
Yeah.
And so, and it is there. I mean, there are demonstrations, riots, houses are getting burned down, cars are getting burned down.
Yeah.
People are chasing these migrant groups around. Things are happening, and half of the country is trying to say, look at how terrible it is that people are burning houses and cars and rioting and doing violence and chasing these poor migrant refugees. And the other half are thrilled that something is finally happening, that these people are finally getting what they deserve, and the government's going to be forced to listen. And that's what's going on, man.
Yeah, that is what's going on. You said that they made the mess, like the politicians who have all come out to speak about it, they've made the mess and they're going to have to be the ones to fix it. I don't really believe that they are going to fix it, though.
They're not.
I feel like something else is going to have to happen, and who knows what that is. But Keir Starmer is not going to fix anything. Either democracy is going to work the way that they say it does, And the populace is going to get so upset with everything that they're going to put in politicians that will do something, or something else is going to happen. I'm skeptical of the politicians being elected and doing the things that need to be done because of what's going on with Trump. Like that's what he ran on. He was like, we're going to do the things that need to be done. And here we are going to war with Iran. So,
Yeah.
not really.
I have no confidence in it either. I think they're going to try to double down like they always have. And I don't think anything good can come of it. I mean, it's possible that this blows over in the sense that the people of the UK don't have the heart to do what needs to be done.
Yeah.
I think that's a very likely possibility. But
what needs to be done?
What needs to be done there is the government being forced to become accountable. And that might mean, I'm not talking about a revolution necessarily, but they have things they can do like that we can't do, like referendums. They need to do something. They need to force a vote. They need to remove all of these motherfuckers. They need to bring in people who will actually protect the people of the UK.
That's exactly how I feel about America. That's what we need to do.
Yep.
And Trump ain't doing it. As far as I'm concerned, who knows? Again, I always the caveat that I have no other option but to give him the rest of the time that he's got.
I'm with you.
And maybe it could turn around. I pray that it does. I don't hate Trump, but boy, am I unimpressed thus far with this term. But yeah, I don't know. I think that like over in England, stuff like this can only happen so many times before people, even like people who are inclined to be like anti-racist, like a bunch of people who are like, yeah, being racist is bad.
Yep.
Oh
yeah.
A bunch of those people, like this kind of stuff happens enough times and like, okay, this is kind of fucked up. Like what's going on here?
Yeah.
And I think that that's happening in America too. Like,
100%. I think it's a very weird place to be because when we were raised, man, it was a very different strategy for trying to improve race relations. It was the colorblind strategy and not this anti-racist strategy.
Yeah.
So it's really difficult for me to kind of even like put myself in the shoes of these people. I still lost my train of thought wherever I was going with that. But it is very, very different from the way we grew up, with this colorblind,
I don't think that I think that raising us with that colorblind attitude was not correct. I don't think we should have done that. I feel like it's led to a lot of the problems that we have now.
Yeah, you might be right. But I think it's far favorable to what we're doing now. The anti-racist approach.
Yeah, it's definitely.
I think.
I don't know, dude. Actually, I kind of think that like the raceless thing that we were talking about and the anti-racist, I feel like they kind of are related to each other almost in a way.
I don't think the colorblind thing was necessarily raceless. It was just, let's not talk about it.
Yeah.
Like let's there are other things, to be concerned about. Let's not focus on it.
Yeah. But don't you see how that's kind of like an equality thing? And then that like the anti-racist thing is born out of the equality thing,
But
I don't know.
But I agree with the like treat people how you want to be treated mentality, and I don't think that.
I mean, I agree with that too.
That's not that transcends race, but I do think that that all of these efforts, all of these anti-racist efforts, have made race relations worse than they've ever been since the 1960s. Maybe worse than they were then. I don't know. I wasn't alive then. I don't know how bad it was.
Yeah,
but it's bad.
It's bad.
It's really bad, and now it's not just white black like it was then. Now it's this whole people of color thing. So now it's being framed as this white versus everybody else thing.
Yeah.
And that is a very dangerous thing to I mean, obviously it's a dangerous thing because it's causing murders. It's causing black people, like this whole Carmelo Anthony situation. It's causing black people to kill white people and to commit acts of violence against white people, thinking that they're justified in doing so because we've taught them and like shoved into their brains that white people are colonizers and villains and the villains of history.
Yeah. What happens to villains?
What happens to villains? They're a cancer.
Down.
We're a cancer. We're sucking resources from all the other people and keeping it to ourselves. What do you do with those misers? What do you do with those thieves? You fucking smash them. You burn them. You curb stomp them, of course. Yeah. And we're teaching people. Again, I don't know what percentage of the population white people are, but it's small. I think it's less than 15% of the world population. And we're teaching the other 85% that we need to be smashed. Okay? That's a dangerous thing, and it's making people racist in the sense that it's causing us to like band together under an identity banner, like band together for safety in a way that we've never had to in a very long time.
Yep. I mean, there's a lot of people who think that it's a bad idea on their part, you know, and I have a hard time disagreeing. Like, if it's everybody versus white people, if it's everybody who's not white versus white people, everybody else is going to have to be careful because, like, I mean, white people, we control a lot of like powerful things, you know, like if they have a vested interest in keeping white people divided, because if white people are like, all right, fuck you guys. I mean, like, it's my problem with like Iran and stuff like that. It's like, if we wanted to just like destroy everyone, we probably could. We could put a pretty big dent in the world.
Well, what would happen if the West, I don't know what would happen to the West, but let's say what would happen to the rest of the world if the West cut off aid and trade and protection?
You know, I don't even think you need to do the West. I think just America. I think you could run that thought experiment with just America, because I think that America is largely picking up most of the slack for the West on that.
Yeah.
So
what would happen? Like, surely we would suffer because, you know, we get things cheaper elsewhere in the free market, and all that stuff's very important. But if we cut ourselves off from the rest of the world, what would be the negative consequence to the rest of the world? I think it would be tremendous. It would be catastrophic. You know, there would be starvation immediately in lots of places in the world. Mm-hmm. There'd be crippling of GDP in all
Trump's
kinds
done
of
that
places.
A little bit too.
Yeah.
Good. Fuck them. That's honestly how I feel. Like, everyone hates us so much, but we're paying all of their fucking bills, you know? And in my opinion, it's fuck them for me. Like, okay, then you can starve. It's no skin off my back if you guys, I can't see you. You're on the other side of the world. I don't care if you're starving to death. You know, it's like, if you're going to be a cunt, then starve. Fine.
Yeah, this is another thing I wanted to sort of related to another thing I wanted to talk about, which is, remember we were talking to last couple of conversations we had with our buddy Daniel Torridon, our English buddy. We got kind of political in that conversation, kind of seeing how like a liberal Englishman and then two, you know, sort of conservative Americans can kind of attempt to get to the bottom of our disagreements. I don't know how successful you think it was, but one of the things that it did was it shed some light on, like, in an interesting and a surprising way, into how Europeans view Americans. And if you remember, one of the things he said was, I can't remember, maybe you remember the specifics. I thought he said something about, like, America wanting to lower the age of marriage to 16 because Donald Trump's a pedophile or something like that. Do you remember the argument? It was like, he said something like that so many times in the conversation that, like, at first we like let it go, and then eventually we're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Because he was saying it like everyone knows it. Like, everyone knows the United States.
Like, he didn't just read it on some random fucking like tweet or something like that.
And maybe he did, but he was sort of like, if you're being honest, if you're being charitable, he believed it, that it was a well-known fact that America's such a terrible place.
I agree with that. He definitely did seem to believe it.
And there's a lot of that, you know, like when you kind of.
What's really funny though, and this is like a basis of one of my criticisms for Trump, is Daniel is like, Donald Trump is a pedophile and he is, you know, that's why he's bad. And Trump's base is terrible because they're supporting him. But Trump's base doesn't support, like they wanted all the Epstein pedophiles to get, you know. So it's like you don't even really know what you're talking about. Now, I mean, to be fair, there are a bunch of Trump supporters who were very worked up about the Epstein stuff, and then when Trump completely whiffed on it, they just like, all right, well, I don't care about the Epstein files anymore, which it pisses me off. I mean, it's one of my serious complaints about Trump. I don't know, man. It just fucking sucks. But why would people in other countries have like a bigger, like a more inside line on the fact that we're going to lower the age of consent? Like, has Trump ever said that, like in an interview from the podium? Who has ever said anything about that happening?
Right.
Nobody. Some fucking random person wrote it online, and people are like, "That's the truth."
But that, like, it's a symptom of something. It's a symptom of this idea that European people are so willing to think the worst about the United States. Yeah, like they're being taught to think, just like we're being taught to think of ourselves, that we are the villains of history, that we're supporting genocide all over the world, that we're disrupting governments, and we're a source of chaos all over the place. And it would be better if we were like the Leviathan whose head has been chopped off, and the world would be better. Like, this is the thing that we think, and it goes beyond this idea that Americans are dumb and fat and all, and we are, but it goes beyond that. It's like a contempt that they're better than us. It's this contempt for Americans, that we're the source of problems in the world and they're better than us, especially morally. They're better than us. Hearing Daniel say those things, it was kind of like a wake-up call for me that, it's like regular people in Europe really think this way about us, and such a divergence from like the way it was in the post-war period, where it's like I don't know how true this is, but this is what I learned. It's like American culture was like one of the major reasons why communism fell in the USSR. It was rock and roll that did it, man. It was fucking blue jeans and apple pie, baby. It brought down the greatest evil the world has ever known, and like American culture, American TV and movies, it's like Miami Vice. It was like, you know what I mean? Like people loved America. Yeah. And now they fucking hate America and think we're all villains and we're just fat, slovenly, fucking selfish, or a country of fucks. That's how the world sees us now. And then I'm seeing all these media articles and all these clips of foreigners coming over to the United States for the World Cup, and how they're so fucking astonished that we're nice people here and we have delicious food and beautiful country. Haven't you?
No, I haven't seen any of that.
Dude, there's this video of this Norwegian family, and they go to like a fast food restaurant. This little fucking blonde-haired, blue-eyed kid who could barely speak English is trying to order his food, and they're like eating this burger, and they're like, so good, And there was this one about this Japanese person. Oh, it was the Japanese person. I saw this on X. That they went to breakfast in Texas, and they got biscuits and gravy and all this stuff. And the guy was saying he was disgusted. When they bring this plate out to him, he was like astonished, because he said in Japan, the first taste of the food is the way it looks. And he said they bring him this slop, and he was like offended. And then as soon as he took a bite, he apologized to the waitress, and he apologized to the chef, and he apologized to America. So it's like, but all these people, and the ones that are the really good ones are like the British people coming over, and some of the European people coming over, and they're having these games in a bunch of different states. So there's some of the stories are coming from Texas, and some of the stories are coming from different places. Yeah. And they're just like, what's being emphasized here is how surprised they are, because the reality of America is so different from what they've been told. Yeah. They're coming here and they're meeting people and they're seeing what it's like. And they're like, it's like, how amazing is it that the World Cup happening in the United States is become the veil pulled back over the eyes of the fucking liberal media that have been telling people we're the villain for the last 20 years.
Yeah. I wonder, I don't know if this is true or not, but I think I remember hearing that like Trump like pulled strings to get the World Cup here. Like he manipulated, like he was like really pulling for it to happen here in America. I wonder how much of
Interesting.
that was for that reason.
That is very interesting.
Yeah.
So you know why that makes me raise my eyebrow is because I heard a couple times recently the statistic that that in England the average income is lower. In Great Britain, the average family income is lower than in Mississippi, and Mississippi is the lowest income state in the country. Very, very poor mostly, right? And in one of the greatest countries in the West, the people live on less money than they do in Mississippi.
Crazy.
Now that is the shock of an Englishman coming over to the United States, seeing that is the shock.
I wonder if they'll see that though. Like they're going to be in these big shiny cities where the World Cup games are taking place.
True. Yeah.
But I mean, even that is something. Like they come to these cities and they're like, "Holy shit!" Like they're
at least going to see, like one of the things people say when they go. Like I don't know. I'm sure you've heard this. Like European people will complain that like Americans will make eye contact with you. They'll talk to you and they don't know you. They'll make small talk with you, and they say it like it's rude. Like I can't believe this person like looked at me and smiled at me.
Talking to me. Yeah.
But they're going to come here and they're going to be surrounded by people that are friendly and like respectful in a way that doesn't belong in their culture.
Yeah.
And I think that by itself, just be around. I don't know. Maybe it's not as good in the cities as it would be in the suburbs or in the country or whatever. But it will. They're going to encounter like real good people for the most part.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. Get these fucking Europeans learned up. Throughout the podcast, I've been like pretty anti-European for that reason.
Yeah,
like I fucking can't stand these people. Like I like European culture. Like I'm a white person. I'm a proud white person. I like European culture, but I feel like they have poisoned European people against American people so much.
Totally.
And I feel like there's some kind of intentionality there.
Totally.
Because American people, and this is a controversial statement, but American people are European people. That's what I believe.
They are. Of course.
Mean,
I said this I tried to say that this sort of divide thing, I trace it back to the Obama administration. And do you remember there was a story back then about like Obama gets elected and one of the first thing he does is he sends this bust. It was like a statue, a bust. I don't know who it was of. There was a gift from England. He sent it back to them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's like the wedge that was being shoved between the United States and Great Britain. Like I don't know, man, if it originates there, but I just see like a breadcrumb trail leading back to the early Obama years.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's been like slowly on the rise for a lot longer than that. But I do think that that's kind of when it exploded, which is weird. Like why we just elected our first black president and now racial tensions are igniting more.
Interesting, right? And the black population, especially the liberal black population, points to racism as the cause of it. It's like, of course, racism gets worse when these white people can't stand the fact that there's a black president.
It's like, without the white people voting.
Exactly. Black people are what percentage of the U.S. population? Like 15, 13, something like that. 13, I think.
Small.
So if every single black citizen of the United States voted for Obama, they could not get him elected.
Yeah,
they need white people.
And that's a bunch of them.
And that's exactly what happened. Yeah. Racist America voted in the black guy, and the first thing he does is
tell the black people that they're being racismed upon.
They're being mistreated.
Yeah.
Let me be clear.
Yeah. He's married to a man, so
I still wish I would have got a better embarrassing story out of you, Kyle, but that's that one.
I'll try to think of one. Like I said, I know I've got one, but you just try to black that stuff out of your memory.
I know, totally. That's the thing, man. I was, you know what, man? I have one. It was like an early one. It might have been like one of the very first times I ever felt embarrassed. And it involves somebody who and I'll tell you. This is like this literally dates back to like the age of like
exploration,
6 or 7.
Gotcha.
So this was a little girl, but remember, I was a little boy at this time. Lived across the street from you, that lady. Remember?
Okay. Yeah.
And she was at my house, and we hanging out with me and my sister. And I can't remember exactly what happened, but oh boy. it's a really old memory, so it's hard for me to remember. She basically like I did something to her like out of spite. This is the best I can do, man. I did something to her out of spite. I told her to go home, or I didn't want to play with her. Something. I was a kid. I was little. And she called me out immediately that the reason I did is because she had hurt my feelings or something. And she was right. Like she knew.
That made you more angry?
It made me ashamed. It was like an embarrassing moment. I felt like I had been punished, you know?
Yeah.
That's the kind of event that could turn somebody like into some BDSM kink when they're older, but not me, man. I just carried on living my life.
Good for you, man.
But I just remember feeling very embarrassed. Like I was trying to get a dig at her, and she knew that I was being petty, and she told me, like, I know. And I'm like, you're right. And all I could do is just.
Did you admit it?
No, of course not.
Okay.
Of course not.
Good.
Yeah, of course not, man.
I mean, the most embarrassing thing that I can think of is like, you know, I think of the time where I like full on shit my pants. You know, like there is no like sharding about it. Like I shit. I fully took a shit in my pants.
When did this happen?
I would say that I was probably like in my teens.
Yeah.
Maybe like older teens. I was working at the garden center / nursery that I worked at. And I was just like, I had something that I needed to do.
I can't stop laughing because I know where this story is going.
I had something to work on, you know, and I was like, I have to shit, man. But I was like, I'm just going to finish doing this real quick. So I finished doing it, and I should not have finished doing it, man. I should have just gone, because I went to the bathroom and there was someone in the stall, and it was, you know, there was only one shitter. There's like a urinal and a shitter.
You're panicking at that point.
Yeah, and so I'm like, you know, I'm just like standing in there waiting for them to be done. And like my whole body is like shaking. I'm like trying to hold this shit in. And so I like fully shit my pants. You know? And so then I go into the women's bathroom and I like take my underwear off and throw them away. And luckily I live really close to that place. So yeah.
Oh man, that's a good one.
Yep.
I remember I was hanging out with some friends on the other side of the neighborhood. This kid named Butch. He lived over by Chris and Ryan. It was up a little ways, a couple blocks up. And I was hanging out. He had like a trampoline. That was pretty dope when you were a kid. Nobody had a trampoline. Yeah. Butch had a trampoline. His name was Frank. He went by Butch though.
That's cool.
And anyway, at some point I was like, I gotta go, man. Like I waited too long because I was having fun.
Yeah.
I had to take a shit, man.
Yeah.
And at some point I was like, guys, I gotta go, man.
Yeah.
I might even have asked him if I might be making this up, but I think I might have asked him if I could use his bathroom, and he said no.
And you're like, oh
yeah. So I just had to walk home, and this is like, oh boy, the walk itself is probably, it wasn't that long in terms of blocks. It might have been like five blocks away or something.
Damn, that's a long walk.
Yeah, the walk was probably like 10, 15 minutes or something like that.
And you got a shit.
Oh, dude, I was duck walking. And it was bad. I was in full panic mode, man. My adrenaline was going, and I was squeezing every muscle. And when I got home, I just, dude, listen, the punchline does not get. This isn't a funny story. I made it. So,
yeah.
But
I mean, it's still pretty.
Everybody who tried to talk to me when I got in, I was like, no, fuck off. No, I just went right to the bathroom. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, mine is honestly still not that embarrassing for me because nobody knew. Like, I'm the only person. I mean, aside from me telling it on the fucking internet, nobody knew that happened to me. So it's not really that embarrassing to me, you know. But I'm sure that I can come up with like an actually embarrassing story.
Oh, I had a pre-jack story.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Like that's. I mean, I've already said it. Even just saying that word, what the punchline of this is. But one of the earliest situations that might have resulted in me losing my virginity was something that was like a hot and heavy petting over the clothes situation, and it was just we had way
PHJ,
huh? Oh yeah, and we had way too much freedom and privacy to be doing what we were doing. I could have easily done it if I could have managed it.
Don't give your kids that kind of privacy.
No, don't. But like I said,
yeah.
it happened before. Like I remember it. I remember, and like I was still fully clothed, man. Like when this happened, she was over the pants, and I just remember pretending that it didn't happen, and like I just suddenly grew a conscience and decided that this.
Oh
we
can't do
this. Yeah,
Jesus is watching. You're like, I can't
exactly.
do this.
Like listen. And actually, a similar story when I had a story about getting caught by the police, because I was.
Oh, I remember this story.
I was in a car in a sort of a parking lot-ish, sort of a semi-public place, and as a teenager,
not really public.
Yeah, not really public. Yeah,
people could have seen.
Yeah, there were like cameras around. It was near a shopping complex, and so it was just me and my teenage girlfriend in the car, and police came knocking on the window, and it was almost like a saving grace, because I was trying to pretend like I wasn't done. Like I was like, can I keep this going? Because I was already done, man. Oh. And the cop came knocking, and I was like, thank God. Thank God. And he knocks on the window with his billy club, and my heart fucking fell down into my gut. And that was one of the more embarrassing things that ever happened to me. He pulled her out of the car and questioned her. And as soon as he realized that we were both just like 16-year-old kids or whatever it was, he was like, get out of here. He was like, well, what would your dad say if I call? I was sitting there, I was in the passenger side. She was out of the car talking to him right there. I could hear everything they were saying. He was like, what would you do? What would your dad say if I called him right now? And I was like, oh, don't do that, man. That's not a good idea. Yeah. But he let us go. So, that was it. Yeah. But that was exciting. That was actually like kind of like my only encounter with the police. Like I never really got in any trouble. I never got in any fights, or like, never did anything stupid, really just fucking in the car. Yeah. Yeah. Trying to think of any other embarrassing stories.
That lady was of her ethnic origin.
Oh yeah, she's one of the chosen.
She was one of the chosen. I thought it was that one. All right.
What's on my list? I only have one thing left on my list, and it's kind of like, no, I have two things, but one of them is brief. It's just that I heard Nick Fuentes was scheduled to be on Rogan.
I heard that too.
Let's find out if that's true.
Ask Perplexity. Is it true that Nick Fuentes is going to be on Rogan?
Let's see what Perplexity says. It's not confirmed, it says. It's a rumor, though, circulating, which probably means...
I wonder if Joe...
It's at least a possibility.
I wonder if Joe will try to, like, get combative with... Because Joe will do that every now and then,
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. I hope he does, to some degree.
I guess it just depends on what the motivation for it is. Like, if he's going to get combative about something that he actually feels passionate about, that's fine. If he is going to get combative about something that he feels like will get him brownie points, then fuck that. No. Joe is not above that. Let's not pretend like Joe is above that.
But I think he has a responsibility to ask the questions about the racism and all that stuff, because like, how can you not? You have to engage that subject at some point.
Yeah, I guess you're right. That stuff is going to have to come up. I just think that the level of Joe's pushback when Nick gives what I know is going to be what I think to be a pretty well-reasoned answer from Nick Fuentes, depending on how Joe reacts to that argument will determine how I think Joe does in this.
I think
if
so.
It happens.
I think so. I think it will be really interesting. It'll be an interesting spectacle to watch. It'll be interesting to see how, because Nick Fuentes is very capable of answering like hard questions and making a compelling argument for his point of view. And to do that on a platform the size of Joe's is a very interesting thing, especially in this climate, like we just described, with all this racial tension and these things, that kind of these tipping point moments that are happening, that are blowing up and becoming moments. To have Nick Fuentes now go on Rogan and make a compelling argument for like racial consciousness and,
if what Joe is trying to do is to like derail Nick in any way, Joe better be fucking careful, because Nick is capable of making Joe Rogan. He's capable of doing to Joe Rogan what he did to Piers Morgan. I mean, I think that Joe Rogan is a sharper person than Piers Morgan, to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, I don't think that Piers Morgan is like a retard or anything.
I don't think Joe will be as confrontational in the sense of like, I think Piers Morgan thought before Nick Fuentes ever showed up on his show that he was a racist and a bigot and needed to be put in his place and to be exposed. I don't think Joe's going to have that perspective. I
think that he might think that Nick is a racist and a bigot, but I think he's like more open to conversation, and like, it's not going to be like a gotcha thing.
Yeah.
Although it could be. Do you remember what happened with Stefan Molyneux?
On Joe?
Yeah.
No.
He had him on like 2 times, and it was a good conversation. And then he had him on a 3rd time, and Joe like ambushed him and like tried to, you know.
I don't remember any of those.
It was about a bunch of the defooing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe Stefan Molyneux told people to do that too often, but dude, if your family's abusive towards you, fucking leave them, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see any problem with that at all.
I like Stefan Molyneux a lot, but one of the things that I was skeptical about was his appeal to emotion, because I do see that as not only a feminine quality, but as associated with the cultural decline and the social decline that we're seeing, is the feminization of culture and politics, the emphasis on empathy and all that stuff that's causing, we're deferring logic to feels constantly. And I think that Molyneux was guilty.
That Molyneux was doing that.
I think he was guilty of that when he would say things, when it was part of the, abandon your parents, the stuff that he said a lot. It was always appealing to that. It's like, were your parents supportive? How did they make you feel? Did they cause trauma with you? Did they ever apologize for it? It's like, I don't know, man. It's like, as a parent now, I think like mostly parents do the best they can, and people are flawed and deficient, and, you're asking for too much. So I think his like, if you feel a certain way about your parents' failure, then you should abandon them, is a fucking stupid thing a lot of the time.
I guess it depends on, I mean, I remember listening to a bunch of those call-in shows, and I do remember some of them. It's like, man, maybe, I don't know, maybe give your parents a little bit more slack than that. But I don't know. I guess I would have to listen to some of them to really give my opinion. But generally, I do like Stefan.
Yeah. How did you feel about him shaming people for laughing out of like anxiety?
I thought that was good.
Yeah.
A lot of the time.
Sometimes
a lot of times people do this like defensive thing where they like, he'll like draw something out of them that it's like embarrassing or bad, and they're like laughing about it. He's like, don't laugh about that. And I think that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to pee real bad.
Me too.
So I only have one topic left, and we're over time anyway. So the topic we'll have to get to next time is this idea of a divine madness.
All right.
And it's this idea that there's a really fine line between,
kind of ties in with the demons and stuff.
It does.
We were talking about earlier.
A fine line between like religious mysticism and insanity.
Yeah.
All so anyway, we'll get to that next time.
Teed you up for the next episode.
We love you. Until next time.
Well, there you have it. That's one avenue explored, but infinitely more still to go. I hope you enjoyed thinking along with us. I know. It's not easy work. Thinking. It's hard and full of uncertainties, but I'm grateful for the company as we trek through this together. Here's to hoping that the juice is worth the squeeze. See what I did there? Let's find out together in the next episode.